This ossuary right here is a great illustration. In fact, it would be on the very top end of ornamentation. A lot of ossuaries are more like this one that you see depicted here. There's a rosette. There would have been, barely can see one over here. It's been weathered and chipped a little bit. That's a typical ossuary. And some have this sloped lid, some are flat, and some are gabled. So there are three different lid styles. So what happens? It all started, we think, in the time of Herod the Great, perhaps related to all the building that's going on, because rejected stones could be easily cut up into 2, 3, maybe 4 ossuaries. An ossuary can be made, that's limestone, an ossuary can be made in 1 day. If you're going to make it this ornate, then tack on another day or 2. It's 1 day's wage to make one of these. And so this is what was happening. A person dies, the family washes, perfumes, wraps the body, places it in a tomb, on a ledge. And then they mourn at the tomb, even in the tomb, and sometimes the floor is dished out a little bit in one place where they can stand up, raise their hands up in the Jewish fashion and pray. And they mourn for 1 week. That's the primary funeral, then it's over. Tomb is all sealed up. 1 year later, secondary funeral, they come back and they gather the bones, which by now are just bones. These limestone tombs desiccate tissue quickly. They gather the bones up, disarticulate the skeleton, and then either place them in a niche, a small niche in the tomb, or in one of these boxes. They open it up and they place the bones in the ossuary. Now, by the way, it's not just one skeleton per ossuary. Right. There's been as many as 6 or 7 skeletons, usually 1 or 2 adults, 2 or 3 children.
Yeah, the economy
in
plan.
The box.
Sure.
And maybe the name of the top person, maybe a second name, written usually not on the ornate side, but on the back side and or the end. The person's name is written. 1/4 of these ossuaries have names.
Now, Dr. Evans, you didn't know this, but this one has a name on it. And being an Aramaic scholar, you can come over here and see it and see if you can read that for us. Whose ossuary is this?
Oh, this is very impressive. This is an ossuary, Joseph Bar Kaifa.
There you go.
Joseph Bar, and probably Joseph, son of Caiaphas. And by the way, the first time this came out, so this would be the Caiaphas ossuary replica that came out in, I think it was 1990 when it was accidentally discovered. I thought, that's not Caiaphas because it isn't spelled right. However, scholars have convinced me that the spelling options were so varied, it probably is the Joseph, son of Caiaphas, that's mentioned by Josephus, the Jewish historian.
Who condemns Jesus to death.
That's right. And you know what was really weird? There were 2 crucifixion nails with human calcium attached to them.
Isn't that amazing?
Found in the ossuary. And I thought, what is this all about? Because this guy was not crucified, of course. And what we have determined is that the literature tells us this too. Crucifixion nails were good luck charms. Right. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So here's a high priest with good luck charms in his box.
So when people attend this course, I mean, this is the type of thing they're going to be learning. I mean, where would you ever hear about this? You know, crucifixion nails inside an ossuary.
By the way, in this, there was a Miriam, probably his sister, ossuary, in the same tomb. And there was a coin stuck to the roof of her mouth. Even though the flesh had disappeared, it remained glued in her mouth. What's that mean? You know what that means? A coin in the mouth?
Oh.
That's the obol that you pay charon to cross the river Styx. This is a pagan practice, and it's in her mouth, and she's the sister of a high priest. What does this say? So I think it shows there's a little bit of enculturation that's gone on, a cosmopolitan, and that is consistent with what we've learned about synagogues in Galilee. The Galileans are the theologically orthodox and conservative. Sure. And when they come south to Jerusalem, they are critical of these guys who are wealthy, oppressive, and have sold out to a lot of Greco-Roman culture.
Absolutely.